Hey guys, Cam here from PhoneDog.com, and as you will all know, there are certain platforms in the mobile industry that are doing better than others in terms of sales. There are plenty of devices to choose from, and there are plenty of reasons to go with each different operating system or platform. And so, for the next few weeks, I am going to be rounding up my favourite things about each of the platforms, and this week I'm starting off with Android, with my top 5 things that I like about Android and reasons why you should perhaps consider going Android if you haven't already. First in my top 5 reasons is the sheer variety of different handsets available. It's one of the most attractive things about Android is that actually you can try, let's say, an HTC device, and then if you don't like it, you can still keep all your apps and all the settings that you want and switch to a different piece of hardware running virtually the same software, with a slightly different skin depending on manufacturer. But the variety also means that there is a phone for everybody, virtually. It ranges all the way from the low-end devices costing about $50 all the way up to $600-700 devices like the Galaxy S5 and the Galaxy Note 3. And that's one of the great appeals of Android. They have different shapes, different sizes, different prices, different software slightly running on them, and you have this amazing variety of phones. On to the second thing, and one of the big things for me when using a phone is the typing experience. Most of the time when you're communicating on your device, you're typing a message on Messenger or Google Hangouts or text messaging, or just leaving a comment on someone's Facebook page. A lot of it is done using the on-screen keyboard, and with Android you can install various different keyboards onto your device, whether it be Flexi, which is really quick and intuitive, or you can use Google's stock keyboard where you can install like a swipe style feature where you kind of flow across the keys. Or one of my personal favorites is SwiftKey, which kind of learns as you go along. It learns your words that you type most often and the phrases and the orders that you put the words in, and it can kind of predict what you're going to do next. It makes your typing much quicker. Like I said, for me with keyboards it can often make or break a device. If it stops me from wanting to chat to people, if it's an irritation to use, then I'm not going to use my phone as much, and I don't like my phone as much. So for me, the keyboard is actually quite a big deal, even though it's one of the things you don't really think about when you're going into store to buy a phone. Third on my list is Google Now, and it's quite possibly one of Google's best services they've ever launched. Not only is it intuitive in that it knows what you want to know and can give you all the information that you want, it also has voice actions, which is really good. And it does compete with the likes of Siri. You can ask it to set reminders, check the weather, search the web, all sorts of things. It's capable of doing a lot, and it's very accurate in most cases. And what I particularly like about Google Now is the user interface. It's very clean, it's very minimal, and you know what you're doing. As you're speaking your voice action, you can see it appear on the screen in real time. And as for the Google Now cards, you can dismiss them with a quick swipe. You can adjust the settings so that it's more tailored to you. It will tell you when you've got packages arriving in the mail. It will tell you what your favourite sports team scores are. It will tell you when your flight is leaving, if you've got a flight booked. It really does tell you everything that you need to know, and it learns about you as you use it. It knows where you live, it knows where you work, and it will tell you when you need to know what the travel times are between those spaces. It's very useful, and it's something that's really nice to have integrated into the core experience of the device. One of the other great things and the benefits of using Android is that third-party apps can be used in various ways, and you can integrate them more deeply into the actual operating system. Say for instance when you want to share a photograph or a file, when you click the share button on Android, it'll give you a whole list of different apps and services that you can use to share that. You're not limited to Google's own services, and you can use virtually any app you want to share your files. It's fantastic. And not only that, it lets you use apps as defaults for things. So if there's a web link in an email and you want to open it, it'll ask you which app you want to use to open that link, whether it be Chrome, whether it be the HTC Sense browser, or the stock browser in whatever phone you're using, or whether you've installed an entirely different browser like Opera, for instance. You can use anything because that's the way Google and Android works. It's kind of like this open playing space where developers can have full access to almost everything. And that might sound a bit nerdy, but actually it makes a great experience for the consumer because it means you can customize the experience of actually using the phone to suit you, and it's something that you can do over time of owning that device. And last but not least on my list of top 5 things that's great about Android is actionable notifications. When you drop down your notifications drawer, you don't just get to see that you have a notification. If you've got an email or a tweet, you can reply, you can hit delete, you can archive, you can swipe it or dismiss it. You can do more with it than just see that you have a notification. And that's something that's great because you don't have to keep swapping in and out of apps to do stuff. You can actually do it from the main screen just by dropping down the notification drawer. And one of the ones I particularly like is with email. You can actually see a preview of the message that's in your email just by kind of swiping down on the actual message. It's really useful. Now there are other really great features about Android, for instance being able to install apps from your browser directly onto your phone when you're using your computer, or even the fact you've got so many apps available, or even multitasking in real time, which enables Samsung to use things like multitasking multi-windows in their bigger phones. But for me, those aren't really what makes it a great experience. Those are my top 5 I've just listed. If you have another top 5, please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments, or get me on Twitter. I'm at @TIP_Cam, and I'll be back next week with a different platform. I will see you again soon.